Hi, I'm Randall Shepard. You could call me Rand. That's what I normally go by. And I'll try to keep it short. I've gone from 9 minutes to 6, and I'm hoping to get in the threes. 3 to 4 highlights from this chapter. I'd like cultural specific information. That's the knowledge to understand another culture. Book uses a good example of the exchange students seeking information about educational systems in whatever culture they're going to be in. Also, business people learning about cultural dynamics of doing business. Book used a good example of the businessman in Argentina, and the appointment was a half hour late, and then once he got in, it was constantly interrupted, and just learning cultural dynamics. That's normal there. I've been to Central America, and change and promptness are two things that you got to deal with. Everything changes, and they're not prompt, but we are in our culture. So just learning about that, and also learning the customs. The example of showing the soles of your feet is offensive in Southeast Asia. The peace sign might be flipping somebody off in another culture. Doesn't mean the same as it does here. So just learning those. I like what it said too about if you want to learn another culture, then learn about your own. I think that's true. We do so many things over here. Our attitudes, our judgments are all just part of what's normal in our society. And a lot of times we don't step back to think and find out why we do that. So I think that's a good place to start. I was told a long time ago just about if you really want to learn something, teach it. And I think that's a good analogy, to really learn. If you really do want to learn about something, and you're going to have to, or if you want to teach something, you really have to learn about it. And I think that's a great example for learning this stuff about cultures and customs. I also like motivations, and I liked the intentions part: goals, plans, objectives, and desires. That's the definition. And if you form a negative judgment toward another culture, if you already have that preconceived in your head, then that's going to come across, and you're not going to make that connection and be competent in communicating. Also, what surprised me was the question, what do we call ourselves as Americans? I actually like the U.S. Americans because we are the United States of America. So that would be short for that. That would be okay with me. I've got a lot of other opinions on what was said about the sovereignty of our nation and our identity and who we are, but that's for another discussion. So it's going to take more than 3 minutes. What was practical and useful that I use in my daily life? I like the DIE tool: description, interpretation, education. And let's see. Oh yeah, so yeah, we are not aware of specific sensory information that is forming our interpretations. They use the example of the teacher and the students that thought the classroom was sterile. They didn't really know why, because they didn't have the perceptual information. So I think that's good, and that's something that I can use. So I can it's going to teach me to be aware of perceptual cues and information without being distorted by opinions or other influences. And so then how exactly will I use what I learned? Taps into that last statement there. I just think we're all programmed, to judge and react. We do first impressions and that kind of stuff. So this skill will teach me to step back, take in all the factors, the sensory and the perceptual, and evaluate all the information, before I make a judgment or before I conclude an interpretation. So I think with that, my wife, my kids will like that. I might make some new friends. But anyway, thanks for watching my post. I'm sure I'll be talking to you again.